Hey, looks like it's time for the Dragonslayer class overview. Let's get started. To get Dragonslayer class, you must have completed all the quests from Galimoth in the Lair map. For enhancements, I am using Dauntless for my weapon, Luck for my class, Anima for my helm, and Vainglory for my cape. If you do not own Forge enhancements, then go full Luck. Starting at rank 1, all of your skills except your auto attack deal increased damage to dragon enemies. Dragonslayer has 2 rank 4 passives, and 1 rank 10 passive. The first rank 4 passive increases your hit chance and outgoing physical damage by 10%. The second rank 4 passive increases your damage resistance by 10%. Finally, your rank 10 passive increases your endurance by 10%. Your auto attack is a basic attack dealing 100% weapon damage on a 2-second cooldown. Let us change things up and actually start with the 5th skill, as it empowers all your other skills for dragon monsters. The 5th skill is called Dragon's Bane and deals 120% damage to a single target. If the enemy is dragon kind, it will apply Dragon Bane to the opponent, which lasts for 10 seconds. Dragon Bane empowers your other skills, granting them secondary effects. Just to make a note, it comes with a 50 mana cost on a 2-second cooldown, meaning you shouldn't use it all the time. Except if you have Dauntless, of course. Your second skill is called Scorched Steel. It targets one opponent and restores 5 mana every time you hit. It applies the Charred effect to your target, which reduces their damage resistance by 15%. If the target has Dragon Bane applied to them, then you also apply Cindered Scales with your second skill. Cindered Scales reduces their damage resistance by an additional 15% for 15 seconds. The third skill is called Impale. You target one enemy and cause a damage over time to the enemy while receiving a heal over time for yourself. This deals 160% weapon damage. If Dragon Bane is applied to the target, your third skill also applies Infected Wound, which is an even stronger damage over time. If the enemy has the infected wound on them, then you gain a status effect called Adrenaline Surge, which increases your haste and crit chance by 15% for 15 seconds. Your fourth skill is called Incapacitate. It targets one enemy and applies Weaken to the target, which reduces their outgoing damage by 15% for 15 seconds. It deals 200% weapon damage. When the enemy is afflicted with Dragon Bane, you apply the Incapacitated effect to your target. This reduces their outgoing damage by an additional 15% for 15 seconds while also stunning your opponent for 3 seconds. I would not recommend this class for farming, especially if you are not fighting dragon-type enemies, due to its high mana costs, single target skills, and having a low heal over time effect. Here is the solo for a boss which is not dragon kind. I would just spam your second, third, and fourth skill when off cooldown. Only use your 5th skill when you are above halfway of your mana pool, as 50 mana is very consuming. Keep in mind this is assuming you are using the Dauntless enhancement. Here is the solo boss fight when the target is dragon kind. There is a huge difference in time compared to the boss fight you saw previously of the Doom Overlord. I would always start with your 5th skill to apply Dragon Bane, then your second skill. From there I always make sure to apply Dragon Bane before using any of my other skills to get those secondary effects. As you can see, thanks to the additional damage to Dragonkind, and the secondary effects from your second, third, and fourth skill, shows that Dragonslayer is a killing machine. It can still die at hard-hitting bosses though. In terms of supporting for Dragonslayer class, it is decent, as it can lower the target's outgoing damage and reduce target's damage resistance, while applying 2 separate damage over time effects. It can also stun the target for 3 seconds. Overall, the Dragonslayer rework has done a tremendous job in making this class useful against dragons. It is a fantastic class that beginners should use if you are fighting dragon-type enemies. Its damage output makes it a high-tier soloing class. While its con is that this class is only useful against dragons, it is understandable as it is only meant to kill dragons in the first place. This class really does live up to its name. Anyway, that is all from me. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a nice morning/afternoon/evening.